them ghosts. All from the Hey, this just for Beulah County. Yeah, right on your head like a bounty. Said I'm from Beulah, they know I'm from Beulah, so let me just go talk about my surroundings. Shout out them Eagles that's out in Geneva, them Lakers, oh yeah, that's Palmerton and Valley. We from the 4-4 chasing these goals. If you in the way, you get taken out proudly. And Jefferson soaring with Falcon. Said that you working, you ain't really working. You see that we working, our hands got a callus. Putting in reps till we moving some mountains. Edgewood got warriors, they won't allow it. Me, I bleed green and gold, they know defeating those dragons who run the whole city, you wildin'. And they really bout it, yeah. And next we gon' go to Grand Valley. Work like a horse and don't show no remorse. So opponents keep coming, we stack them and pile them, yeah. And kinda got flooded with Spartans. As soon as they pull up on game day, we park them. Cause we number one in that spot, ain't a bargain, man. Shout out St. John, they be ballin' like Harden. This for the 4-4. This for the 4-4. This for the 4-4.
Good morning, everybody. Today, Wednesday, March 8th. We are at the midway point, folks, through the week. I am Sam Torres here with the 440 Sports Show. We had some technical difficulties this morning. For some reason, I could not, my internet wasn't working correctly. So I had to go ahead and do the old, restart of the router and the modem and all that good stuff to get everything going. Without internet, I can't do this. But yes, again, my name's Sam Torres here. Welcome to the 440 Sports Show right here with on ysnlive.com. Got some great stuff we're going to be going through on today's show. It's going to be pretty much a complete review of the Ashtabula County Basketball Foundation game last night. If you didn't get a chance to watch that, head over to ysnlive.com. The replays are available right there on the website. It was really just a fun game to watch last night. The seniors really outdid themselves this year. Drama following the game, and not bad drama, no fighting or anything like that. But like both of these games come down to last possession to determine who's going to win the game. And like, I can't remember ever seeing, to be honest with you, an all-star game where that happens. It was, one of the cool ones to watch was in the girls' game in particular, and we'll start with that one. Today, we're not going to have a baseball preview because I want to send a shout out to everybody who has responded. One of the coolest things was, so I put a Facebook status out there kind of asking for some help with last year's baseball records and, this year's accurate baseball schedules and stuff like that. And the response was awesome. Tons of parents, reached out. They've got the schedule. One of the coolest things, these guys right here, which is a company I've had the chance to work with personally, Game Changer. There's a lot of parents who kept track right on their Game Changer, and their seasons and all their stats and stuff like that are very, very up to date. I can tell you that the next team that we are going to review, which will be on tomorrow's show, is going to be the St. John Heralds. And we'll get through all the baseball teams this week and next week, and then we're going to head right into the softball teams as well. I've got a couple coaching profiles that are on deck, including we're going to start the year off with St. John's Alvin Rodriguez. For those of you who don't know, St. John has a tremendous amount of success last year, winning a sectional title game. So they're going to be the next team that we're going to kind of preview and review, that sort of deal right here. We're going to try and get everybody done. At least every team will at least have a graphic. I can tell you that. All the YSN teams will have a graphic right here on the network. But yeah, let's talk a little bit about this event right here on the Ashtabula County Basketball Foundation Senior Classic. It was really an absolute blast to watch last night. We're going to start with the girls. The girls team does have Team Black, coached by Tom Rattari, come back from behind victory at the end, 49-46. Here were your Ashtabula County girls. I want to send a shout out to Edgewood Athletics for all of the photos. Obviously, I didn't have a chance to go down there and grab some of these pictures as we were in a full setup right there in the gym. But right there, you've got Tom Rattari wearing his Conneaut gear and Coach Randy Venzel wearing his orange. As he was coaching for the Orange team. It was really an absolute blast. You're going to get to see him again as he is going to be coaching. I can comfortably say this now. He is coaching at the YSN All-Star game. So he has been chosen as one of the 68 schools at YSN Network's very best coaches. And he's going to be down there at YSU at the Begley Center coaching the girls All-Star team. I could not be any prouder. I think he's a great representation from this area. I think what he does with girls sports, not just basketball, I think what he does with softball and everything he puts his hands on, he really makes a huge difference, and his teams are always very, very competitive. And even when they're not, these are girls who are learning life lessons. So I really just can't say enough about Randy Venzel. I think he's just a top-tier guy and a top-tier coach. But yeah, this is your girls team. Team Black, led by the young lady herself, MVP, Casey Kanicki. And I'll bring that up here too. Casey Kanicki, who performs a clean sweep at the senior games this year. She goes out, wins the three-point contest in a very, very tight final with Elena Nesperenko from PV, who had an absolutely phenomenal showing herself. She goes out, Casey wins that, and then with 19 points and 6 or 7 rebounds in an all-star game, as well as mounting a huge comeback for Team Black, wins the MVP. Now, somebody I don't want to overlook, again, even though they're not, Geneva's not a YSN school, you got to send a shout out to Kaylee Williams from Geneva, who, starts off the game a little bit slower point-wise. But at the very end, when Team Black is mounting their comeback, she comes down, hits back-to-back three-pointers, giving them the lead. I mean, absolute daggers. Like, this was such a great game. These girls went back and forth the entire game. The first time I've actually gotten a chance to see some of these young ladies play basketball, and it was really a treat. One that sticks out for me, the first time I got a chance to check out this year, or check out actually in her career, was Tamor Hoskin from Lakeside High School. She's a very, very good point guard. And when she was out there, she was making a big time difference. She's got a very effective Euro step, able to score, very regularly. She's a very good basketball player. Lakeside has a heck of a basketball player there too. Darby Skida is another one. That was the first time I got a chance to see her. Coach Furman really did a great job with her. She's a very, very talented young lady. Very quick down the floor. Her ability to play on-ball defense is impressive. You know what I mean? She stole the ball a couple times for Orange. Orange was building a lead at one point up to about 10 points in this game, and it was largely because of all the efforts of Skida. And then I got to talk about Harley Schellenberger, who hits 3 big-time three-pointers in this game. She started shooting, letting that thing go, and it was dropping, and she felt very confident. And because she felt very confident, the shots started flying and they started dropping. It was really fun. Team Orange, falling to Team Black, but nothing to hold your head on. Both teams really were just so much fun, and you could see it was girls being competitive while still having fun out there. Another one of my favorite parts of this game is the fact that some of the girls who are teammates all during the regular season get split up here. And watching those matchups is very, very fun. The one that stuck out to me the most was watching like Eva Oster take on Harley Schellenberger, or Eva Oster take on Kaiden Housel from St. John. Those were a really fun matchup to watch, just because they were going at it. And another one, not I want to talk about everybody, but obviously we're not going to have time to talk about everybody. But Carly James from Grand Valley, she's a certified shooter. She was out there, dropping threes and getting the job done for Team Orange. It was just overall, it was a really fun game. It's a great job by the Ashtabula County Basketball Foundation putting this together. And shout out to Steve Cray too. Like, I don't think people realize how much he really does out there. Like, behind the scenes, this guy is a worker ant. Like, he gets so many of these events put together and does such a great job with them. Like, it's always top of the line, and everything is done right. And Steve Cray really deserves his flowers. While people should really understand that. But yes, for this game, it's going to be Team Black mounting the comeback. Coach Tom Rattari's Team Black is going to beat Coach Randy Vensel's Team Orange for this year's All-Star game for the girls. Again, Casey Kanicki is going to be both your three-point champion as well as your three-point champion as well as your MVP. With that, we're going to go to our first break. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about the boys game. We're going to go talk about some of that, and then we're going to talk a little bit about the All-Star game as well. This is Sam Torres. I am the host here at the 440 Sports Show. We're going to go to a break and talk to our friends from Toyota of Warren first, and we'll go from there. Thanks so much. We'll be right back here in just about 2 minutes.
We believe expectations are made to be exceeded. At the new Toyota of Warren, it's about more than just getting a great deal. It's about service you can count on and a friendship you can trust. Year after year, we've done what we do best. We've gone the extra mile so you could too. Because we know it's just not about buying a new car. It's the start of a new adventure. Toyota of Warren, driven by you.
21 News delivers the news as it happens, using the latest technology from where it happens.
Live here outside the Mahoney County.
On air, online,
Wednesday afternoon weather update.
Very dangerous.
and on the 21 News social media platforms.
I'm on the road right now.
21 News, the Valley's only locally owned source for trusted news since 1953.
As fine as the eye can see, the finest hardwoods from the finest trees. Made for your home and within your means, Baird Brothers will help fulfill your dreams. Let life and light come shining through in quiet morns. And heavy traffic, too. Find your easy-to-afford fine hardwood floors and doors and more at BairdBrothers.com.
Every customer has a story, and at Greenwood Chevrolet, we are committed to making sure it ends with you in the right vehicle. I get to be part of somebody's adventure, whether it's buying a car for the first time, helping them get approved, or finding the perfect car for their budget. I'm proud that people trust me with their finances. They trust me to take care of them, and they trust me with their story. I'm Tracy, and I'm ready to go the extra mile for you, only at Greenwood Chevrolet.
All right, we are back after that 2-minute break. I'm Sam Torres. Welcome to the 440 Sports Show here live, Ashtabula's only morning sports talk show. We are going to go over the basketball game. We're going to talk a little bit about the YSN All-Star game as well. You're going to want to pay attention later today for a release. We're going to have a full release of the St. John preview graphic before the show tomorrow. So graphic going to be released today, and then we're going to discuss the graphic tomorrow. And then starting on we'll have another baseball graphic released, yes, today. And then Friday, look for some another team. We're just going to try and get these graphics out where we're going to have some different discussions. Today being a little bit different just because of the All-Star game, so we're going to talk about that. But starting tomorrow, we're going to have a daily team review right now up until we get to the season, which honestly isn't that far out. We're at March 8th, and some of these games, I know some teams have scrimmages as early as like March 17th or 18th. So believe it or not, baseball season and softball season is right upon us. It's going to be a pretty big year for a lot of teams out here. Some of the teams are focused on improvement from last year. You know, not everybody can be successful. That's why it's a competitive game. So there are some teams out there that are going to be making improvements. I know there's been coaching change around the area. So, you know, with Geneva gaining a great coach out there. You know, unfortunately, we won't be able to cover any of the Geneva home games right now. You know, we hope that changes in the future. And that eventually we can figure out an agreement that's going to work for, you know, both parties, so we can provide those Eagles that home coverage. But have no fear. Even though we won't be in Geneva, we will be covering Geneva on the road. So think of Geneva, I guess, as Ryan said yesterday, think of Geneva as like the Savannah Bananas. They're going to be a traveling team that we're going to kind of follow around and catch them, both boys baseball and girls softball. As those teams travel around, we're going to try and make sure they get some time on the network, because I'll be honest with you folks, and I've talked about this in the past. One of the reasons I started doing this, one of the reasons I have so much passion for doing this, one of the reasons I do the work for this is because I believe that Ashtabula County athletes deserve exposure. And I'm going to go out of my way to make sure that these Ashtabula County athletes get the exposure that they deserve. Now, I have the distinct honor and opportunity to be provided a chance to partner up with a great group of guys and a great brand over at YSN. And I think all that does is further the exposure for these Ashtabula County athletes. And that's going to be proven, you know, as we head down to the Youngstown State Begley Center, and we're bringing Ashtabula County representation down there. I'm really excited about that. And, you know, that's really what it's about. And I know I've said that in the past, but I always want to reiterate it. You know, this is about pushing Ashtabula kids to a level where they're going to get seen. Because if you ask me personally, and I know that when it comes to being a homer, I probably have the most decorated crown. I will argue up and down. I will argue up and down with anybody that our Ashtabula athletes could beat everybody. And it's a gift and a curse, I guess, because what ends up happening is I watch so much and I learn so much and I take so many points. Because another thing, if you know me in my personal life, I don't like to lose arguments either. So I will argue and argue and argue, and we will continue to go at it until I feel my argument has been satiated. But you know, that's really what it comes down. That's what this is about. So you know, make sure you guys keep checking here. Go to YSN scoreboard as well. So as we come upon baseball and softball season, I feel like one of the hardest things, and one of the things I find myself looking for, is scores. Like, what is going on? What teams are moving? What teams are doing this? You know, what are the records? One of the coolest things I think out there right now is Game Changer. I've had a chance to work with these people personally. So with Game Changer, you're going to be able to find a ton of scores, but you're going to be able to find all the local stuff, or you're going to be able to even find games. Some of the live streams are up there as well. But for all the scores, you're going to want to head over to www.ysnlive.com/scores, and all of the 60 plus teams who are playing on that day, as long as covered by the network, their games are going to be up there. Their scores are going to be up there as well. So YSN Live is really, I think, closely, and as we take more steps into the future, becoming more of a one-stop shop. If you want to come here and you want to check out player profiles, you want to come and you want to check out coaching profiles, we have a really, really big deal coming up with a website called YSN Prospect. Remember that, circle that name, keep that in the back of your mind. This one's going to blow your mind, folks. This is going to provide an opportunity for athletes to get to the next level of sports. YSN Prospect is going to be a very big deal, and I'm very excited. We're still kind of working out some of the kinks, and I have to see exactly how much kind of I can announce about it before I really start. But I can tell you one thing: once I start talking about YSN Prospect, probably won't ever stop. It's the thing that I've been more excited about this idea than absolutely anything in the world. Don't forget, we've got the Combine coming this year. The Combine, I can tell you with now, one thing I can let you know is that it's going to grow. The Combine is going to have our county schools involved, and we're also going to have some YSN schools involved. And I'm talking top-tier football, some of the best of the best of the best taking part in this Combine. I could not be any more excited about that. We are working out some more details on that, so just kind of stay tuned on that as well. So that's just kind of a mid-show kind of update, let you know how things are going. But let's get back to the reason you guys are really here, and that is for this all-star game that took place right over at Edgewood High School last night. Right here is your all-star team, all mixed in together there, black and orange. Team Black coached by I'm sorry, I'm blanking out on that. Team Black was Coach Bowler. I couldn't remember if Coach Bowler was Team Black or Team Orange. So Team Black, Coach Bowler. Team Orange was coached by Coach Ryan Shantz of PV. Both of those coaches, if you look at their careers, they've gotten the job done there. Both of them took a personal interest in this year as well. Their teams really, really performed extremely well throughout the entire year. PV going up to 20 wins in the regular season. And, with only one conference loss this year, it was really something to watch. And that NAC, I think a lot of people scoff at that conference because it's a conference that's primarily made up of smaller schools. But I can promise you that there's great basketball happening right down there. PV's got a great program. Another kind of pickup program this year was Badger. Badger was fun to watch this year. And if you ever want to check out some of their games, go to ysnlive.com and go under schools, and you'll be able to find them in the NAC. Badger was a fun school to watch this year, and they accomplished a ton as well. But PV did a great job. St. John has been putting it together. I want to tell you what, their record wasn't great this year, but St. John basketball took a step forward this year. This was a team that was very competitive all year long. They had guys who were really out there playing the game well and playing the game the right way, and that was really fun to watch. But your game winners for this one is going to be Team Black, as they're another one had to fight off a late game comeback by Team Orange. And I mean, Team Orange went out there and they were shooting the lights out, trying to get this game. Grant Hitchcock was helping orchestrate a comeback, and I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't expect anything less from the young man. That's just what he does. He's one of the most athletic, competitive kids I've ever seen. But Zach Venzel, the Zach Venzel-led Team Black, is going to win that game yesterday, coached by Coach John Bowler. Again, here's your rosters from yesterday. One of the kids I want to talk about in this one, well, let's go into here first. Zach Venzel is going to be your game MVP. Deshaun Williams. Deshaun Williams, who's going to be playing at the YSN All-Star game, and I'm super excited about that because he is a high-level basketball player that always is going to show up when it comes to, the higher level of competition he gets, the higher level of output you're getting from Deshaun Williams. Like, he really plays up, and he's going to be playing in this game down at Youngstown State. But Deshaun Williams in the final round of the three-point competition last night hits 14 three-pointers in 1 minute. The kid can shoot the rock, folks. The kid can shoot the rock. He caught fire last night, and it was lights out. And it's the same time every other time. I mean, his shot it's a pretty shot. Every time it looks the exact same. You can tell that this is a kid who spent an absolute ton of time in the gym, just shooting basketballs, and because of that, he gets to show off last night, and he hits 14 of them in the final. Now I want to talk about the second place shooter in that game. Because I think with anybody other than Deshaun Williams and his sharp shooting skills and getting red hot, he may have won, and that's Jimmy Severino from St. John High School. Jimmy Severino goes out there and hits 10 in the game, or 10 in the three-point shootout. 10 shots. He was on fire as well. But Deshaun Williams, I just talked about why I'm so excited about him going to YSN's All-Star game down there in Youngstown. Deshaun Williams goes out there and gets the job done. 14. He's got, my opponent's going to hit 10. Here's 14 of them. Put that in the pocket. Goes out there, gets the job done. Zach Venzel ends up being the game's MVP with 19 points for him as well, and about 7 or 8 rebounds there. Venzel, another interesting fact about him, sorry, it's so dry down here. Interesting fact about Zach Venzel, when he does the three-point contest, and obviously he gets into the semifinals, wins his first round, but is knocked out by a 10-shot Jimmy Severino in the semifinals. Venzel opts to shoot from the corner rather than the top of the key for his three-point contest, which I thought was very interesting because, when you're shooting from the corner, you lose that comfort of the backboard. Although, nobody was in there shooting bank shots during their three-point contest. But, there's something about having that backboard that I think elicits a little bit of confidence and kind of keeps you calm. Now for Venzel. Venzel says, give me the corner. I want the shortest three on the court. And that's exactly what he takes. And you can tell that it's just something. That's one of those shots that you have to practice. And once you've gotten really good at it, it's in your bag. Other guys that stood out in this game, Jamil Haynes answered the call. I called out a challenge to him to dunk in the game. He tried some fantastic dunks a couple times, but Team Orange was playing some tough defense in there. But he does knock down a dunk, so thank you for answering the call, sir. I got to talk about my boy Angelo Collazo. Angelo Collazo is a senior from Lakeside High School. And last night, he went out and had himself a game. Goes out, couple big three-pointers, playing defense. My favorite part about Angelo Collazo is how personal he takes defense. There was one instance where Tyler Britton gets an open look. He's going to go up. He's going to dunk it. No, sir, not with Angelo Collazo. Not a dirty play. He doesn't undercut him or anything, but he does foul him and lets him know, absolutely not, sir. I'm not going to take part in any posters. Collazo comes down, hits a couple big threes in the game. They put him, he starts to feel himself get a little bit hot. And then what does he do? Takes about 2 steps inside of the half court, takes a jumper. Everybody is holding their breath, and he knocks it down. Longest three of the game for Angelo Collazo. Ben Answervitz, it was super fun getting to watch him on the basketball court again last night. That kid was truly in his element. He's another phenomenal basketball player. Every time he touches the court, he's a great distributor, but people forget he can score too. So he gets to the bucket very, very well. It was just really fun getting to see him on the court again because, I said yesterday, I said Monday, and I'm going to say again, and I'll probably say again tomorrow. I think taking games away from students because they've transferred school is stupid, and I think it's a detriment, and I think ultimately what you're doing is stealing from the kids and not worrying about the kids, but worrying about adult agendas for that transfer rule. I understand not everybody's going to agree with that, but in the words of my best friend in the world, Ryan Cole, you don't have to like it, but you do have to accept it. That's my opinion. That's where it's at. I think ultimately, a parent should be able to put their kid in whatever instance they feel that they will succeed the most, whether that's here, there, or, in whatever school they find, wherever they're at. If there's a better opportunity for their kid, they should be able to go there. You shouldn't be tied anywhere because of your address. All right, soapbox done. Again, getting back to the game here. So this is another game that comes down to the very final possession as Team Orange comes back, ties the game, takes a lead with about 12 seconds. And then Team Black, Zach Venzel gets the ball. They score. He gets a layup. And Zach Venzel, I think one of the things that is kind of overlooked in his game is his ability to get to the rack because he's such a phenomenal shooter. Gets to the rack, scores the bucket, knocks it down. That's going to end the night. Other guys in that game that made some pretty big plays. Another kid who was nice to see get back on the court was Hetzmanberger from Lakeside. Unfortunately, we watched him this year early in the year as he played Geneva, and he broke his collarbone. Boom. Senior year, that's the end of his year. You hate to see that, but it was great. It's great to see him get back on the court because he's another one that when he's out there, he's just comfortable, playing the game well. He was scoring a lot, just did a great job. Caden Hetzmanberger, it was just awesome to get to see you on the court one final time after a season that was cut short way too soon. I got to talk about Anthony Kasicek over at Geneva. Anthony Kasicek is probably one of the smoothest guards I've ever seen in my life. He is a great shooter, an even better defender, and he will cross you over and tie you into knots. It was really fun getting to watch him play the game. He was on fire there for a period during the game as well. It was just really, really fun. Cam Crockett, Captain Chaos. I like watching him play basketball as well. This is a kid who was rangy. He's got a heck of a long wingspan. He covers the floor so quickly. He's a guy that gets a rebound on one end of the floor, and he's down there laying it up in about 2-3 seconds. He's long stride kid. And then the same applies to his defense as well. Defensively, he's able to change shots, block shots, and he was another one of those guys that was playing big time defense. Tyler Britton from PV, the Iron Giant, as we call him, goes out there, tries to get a dunk down there, but Angelo Collazo is not going to let that one happen. But he does knock down a couple threes, him as well as Luke Harvey, who was having a tough start of the game, but once he got it together, started knocking it down. James Montanaro from Edgewood, the Quiet Storm, goes out there, hits a couple big-time threes. These are all guys that you've seen on the network and have made a difference. It was really just an absolute – it was a blast of a time, and I cannot express enough my gratitude toward Edgewood and Steve Cray, the athletic director, the Ashtabula County Basketball Foundation, for allowing me to be a part of this, for allowing me to be part of that experience. Getting to watch these kids in some cases, for their last hurrah, to get one final game out and go out there and have just a really good time with it. It's bittersweet. I got to see some of the parents themselves, watching their kids play for the final time. And, as a father, I know that day is going to come. And when that day comes, I'll probably be hiding my face and blaming my eyes on allergies. You watch this, you get 4 years of them, and that's another thing I tell high schoolers, anybody who I'm talking to, enjoy it, make the most of it, because guess what? You got 4 of them. You're never going to be able to recreate this 4 years your entire life. This is 4 years, maybe not the best 4 years of your life, but it's 4 years of the most individual opportunities you're ever going to have. So when you're out there, play everything, enjoy everything, learn everything, because this is going to be your best shot at it. You're going to get to do stuff right now that you're probably not going to have a chance to do again at a competitive level again in your lifetime. So just enjoy it. One last thing before we go, I want to talk about the YSN All-Star Game, baby. On March 25th, 2023, we're heading to the Begley Center. It's Youngstown State, and Ashtabula going to have a whole bunch of representation there. I cannot wait. Guys like Deshaun Williams from Lakeside are going to be there. I know that Joey DeGeorge from Jefferson is going to be there. We've got a whole bunch of other guys. Oh, Nate Boyarski is going to be there. Chance Loomis is going to be there. A lot of Ashtabula representation, both on the boys and the girls side, as well as the coaching side. On the coaching side, you're going to have Edgewood's Randy Venzel coaching the girls. This is going to be an awesome event, folks. I cannot express enough how fun it's going to be. Make sure you get down there. Now, listen, if you can't make the trip down Route 11 to Youngstown, that's okay, because this one's going to be live streamed right on ysnlive.com. All the profits from this one going to be going over to a charity. I don't have it in front of me, and I apologize. I'll get that from DJ, and we'll talk a little bit about that more tomorrow on the show. But this is a game for sure that's going to be the last hurrah for a lot of the Ashtabula kids. This will be the final one. We're going to have at least, at very max, we're going to have 16 Ashtabula kids in this game. At very minimum, we're going to have about 12, because I think, unfortunately, some of the kids are not going to be able to get there. I know it's the beginning, the first week of baseball that week, but nonetheless, this is going to be a fun game. Ashtabula representation on the court, Ashtabula representation coaching, and Ashtabula representation calling. I'm going to be calling the boys game for this one with my main man, Ty Bartell. And I can't wait to call that. I got a chance to call some games with him in Vegas, and it was an absolute blast. He's an awesome commentator, broadcaster, and just person in general. So I'm really looking forward to calling some basketball game with him. And then over on the other side for the girls, you're going to have Anthony Hartwig and Richie Giuliano calling the girls game. And what an awesome game that's going to be. We're going to have a lot of representation out there. It's going to be super fun right here. I mean, on a big stage, a very big stage, the Begley Center, Youngstown State, guys. That's college basketball. The Begley Center, Youngstown State this year, they won their NCAA Division I conference. I mean, this is big. It's big. This is a big deal. Ashtabula is knocking on the door of greatness, and I just hope that everybody answers and supports it. I'm really, really excited about this one, folks. But you know what? That's going to do it for today's show. My name is Sam Torres from the 440 Sports Show. Make sure you follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. We've got a TikTok page out right now. Make sure you follow YSN on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and they've got a website over there. You're going to want to go. It's a one-stop shop. We're trying to provide you the very, very best in local sports coverage. It's our honor and our privilege to do it, and I cannot wait to see you guys tomorrow. Sam Torres, 440 Sports Show. I'll see you soon.
This for the football. This for the football. For the city and the back roads, got a whole county full of them ghosts. All from the football, and let's go. Hey, it's just for Beulah County. Yeah, right on your head like a bounty. Said I'm from Beulah, they know I'm from Beulah, so let me just go talk about my surroundings. Shout out them Eagles that's out in Geneva, them Lakers, oh yeah, that's Palmer, Tunin Valley. We from the football, chasing these goals. because of you and the way you get taken out proudly. And Jefferson soaring with Falcon. Said that you working, you ain't really working. You see that we working, our hands got a callus. Putting in reps till we moving some mountains. Edgewell got warriors, they won't allow it. Me, I bleed green and gold, they know defeating no dragons who run the whole city. You wildin'. And they really bout it, yeah. And next we gon' go to Grand Valley. Work like a horse and don't show no remorse. So opponents keep coming, we stack them and pile them, yeah. And kinda got flooded with Spartans. As soon as they pull up on game day, we park them. Cause we number one in that spot in the bargain. Man, shout out St. John, they be ballin' like Harden. This for the fofo. This for the fofo.